Olivia stood alone in the strange room, waiting. She wasn't sure the Queen would really come. Maybe it had been a trick or a test. Her heart beat fast as she looked at the door. Then the door slid open. Two tall robot guards stepped in first. They were made of the same living metal as the walls. Their eyes glowed red as they scanned the room. Then they moved to the sides, and a figure walked in between them. Queen Zaravex stood before Olivia in person. She was taller than any human, nearly 7 feet high. Her body was covered in scales that changed colors with her breathing. The scar on her face was deep and old. But her eyes were the most striking thing about her. They were large and gold, with black centers that seemed to take in everything. "You are the first person to see me like this in 300 years, the Queen said. Her real voice was softer than her hologram's voice had been. Olivia bowed again, lower this time. "I am honored, Your Majesty." "Why?" the Queen asked. She moved closer, looking down at the human woman. "Why are you not afraid or disgusted? Most of my own people would be." "Because I've studied your people for years," Olivia said. "I know that in Thalian culture, perfect symmetry is valued above all else. But on Earth, we often find beauty in things that aren't perfect." The Queen's head tilted slightly, a very human-like gesture of curiosity. "Explain." "We have an art form called kintsugi," Olivia said. "When something breaks, we repair it with gold, making the breaks the most beautiful part. The history of an object, the story of how it was broken and fixed makes it more valuable, not less." The Queen was silent for a long moment. Then she did something surprising. She dismissed her robot guards with a wave of her hand. When they were gone, she pointed to a sitting area in the corner of the room. "Come," she said. "We will talk." They sat across from each other. The Queen seemed unsure, like she had forgotten how to have a normal conversation after so many years of isolation. "Tell me why the humans really sent you," she said. "The truth is simple," Olivia replied. "We don't want war. Our leaders are afraid of your empire. They see your ships and your weapons, and they worry you might attack us, so they've been building bases near your space as protection. But this only makes you more suspicious of us. It's a cycle that leads to war if we don't break it." The Queen's scales shifted to a darker blue. "And they sent you alone to break this cycle? One small human woman?" "I'm small but stubborn," Olivia smiled. "And I'm a bridge builder. I learn languages, customs, ways of thinking. I help people understand each other. And if I ordered my ships to destroy your northern star right now, with all your people on?" The Queen asked. Olivia met her gaze steadily. "Then you would kill good people and start a war neither of us wants. I don't think you'll do that." "You seem very sure of me, human, for someone who just met me." "I'm a good judge of character," Olivia said, "and I think you're tired of being alone." The Queen stood up suddenly, her scales flashing with colors. "You presume too much." "Maybe," Olivia admitted, staying seated. "But am I wrong?" Before the Queen could answer, a loud alarm sounded throughout the ship. The walls flashed red with warning lights. The Queen's wrist device lit up and she tapped it quickly. "Report," she commanded. A voice came from her wrist. "Your Majesty, the human ship has powered up its weapons systems. They are aiming at us." Olivia stood up, her face showing shock. "No, that's not possible. Commander Walsh wouldn't attack. She knows I'm on board." The Queen looked at her with suspicious eyes. "Was this your plan all along? Distract me while your ship prepares to attack?" "No." Olivia stepped forward, forgetting all protocol in her urgency. "Let me contact them. There must be a mistake." The ship shook suddenly. Something had hit them. "We've been struck by a small missile," the voice from the Queen's wrist reported. "Minimal damage to outer hull. Our shields held." The Queen's face hardened. "So much for your peaceful mission, human." "Please," Olivia begged. "Let me talk to my ship. This isn't what we planned." The Queen studied her face for a long moment. Then she nodded once. "Come with me to the command center. But know this, if this is a trick, you will die first." They hurried through the corridors of the giant ship. Crew members stared in shock as their queen passed by, her real face visible to all for the first time in centuries. But there was no time for them to react. The situation was too urgent. The command center was a large room filled with screens and control panels. Thalian officers worked at different stations. They all froze when the queen entered with a human beside her. "Open a channel to the human ship," the queen ordered. A large screen lit up showing the bridge of the Northern Star. Commander Samantha Walsh's face appeared. She looked angry and worried. "Return Lieutenant Reeves immediately," she demanded. Then she saw Olivia standing next to the alien queen. Her eyes widened in surprise. "Olivia? Are you all right?" she asked. "I'm fine, Commander," Olivia said quickly. "Why did you fire on the Nightshade? I'm in the middle of successful negotiations." "Negotiations?" Commander Walsh looked confused. "You missed 3 check-ins. We thought you'd been taken prisoner. When we scanned the ship, we detected weapons powering up. Those were defensive systems responding to your scan," the Queen said coldly. "A scan that penetrated our shields without permission." Commander Walsh's face hardened. "Your ship has more firepower than our entire fleet. We were concerned for our officers' safety." The ship shook again, harder this time. "Direct hit on lower decks," a Thalian officer reported. "Minor damage." "Who fired?" the Queen demanded. "We did," the officer admitted. "Automated defense systems responded to the human attack." Olivia could see the situation spiraling out of control. "Stop!" she shouted, looking between the Queen and the screen. "Both sides need to stand down now." "Your ship fired first," the Queen said to Commander Walsh. "Call off your attack, or we will respond with full force." On the screen, Commander Walsh looked at Olivia. "Lieutenant, are you truly safe? Are you speaking freely?" "Yes," Olivia said firmly. "I'm here as a diplomat, and I was making progress before this misunderstanding. The Queen and I were talking directly. This is historic, Commander. Don't ruin it." Commander Walsh hesitated, then nodded. "All weapons, stand down, power down targeting systems." She looked at the Queen. "We will stand down if you do the same, Your Majesty." The Queen gave a small nod to her officers. "Deactivate defense systems. Stand down from battle readiness." The tension in the room eased slightly. But then another Thalian officer spoke up. "Your Majesty, 12 warships have just emerged from hyperspace. They responded to our distress signal." The Queen's scales darkened. "This situation is becoming more complicated by the moment." Olivia looked at the tactical display. 12 massive Thalian warships now surrounded the Northern Star. Her small diplomatic vessel looked tiny compared to them. "Your Majesty," she said quietly to the Queen, "we have a chance here to prevent a war. Please call off your warships." "They came to protect me," the Queen said. "As they should." "But you don't need protection from us," Olivia insisted. "You said I'm the first person to see your real face in 300 years. Don't let that moment lead to war." The Queen was quiet for a moment. Then she turned to her communications officer. "Tell the warships to hold position but take no aggressive action. The situation is under control." She turned back to the screen. "Commander Walsh, I will allow Lieutenant Reeves to return to your ship now. Our discussion is over." "No," Olivia said firmly, surprising everyone in the room. "Our discussion is just beginning. Commander, I request permission to stay on board the Nightshade and continue diplomatic talks." Commander Walsh looked shocked. "Olivia, after they fired on us?" "After we fired on them," Olivia corrected. "This was our mistake, Commander. I need to fix it." The Queen looked at Olivia with new interest. "You would stay?" "Yes," Olivia said, "if you'll allow it." The room fell silent as everyone waited for the Queen's answer. The giant spaceship called Nightshade moved through space like a dark shadow. It was bigger than any human ship. Its black metal skin seemed to eat the light from nearby stars. The ship belonged to Queen Zaravex, ruler of the Thalian Empire, that spread across many star systems. Inside this massive ship, Queen Zaravex walked alone in her private rooms. Her scaled skin changed colors in the dim light, shifting between deep purple and blue. She had been queen for 300 years, but no one had seen her real face in all that time. Not since the day someone tried to kill her and left her with a long scar down the side of her face. Only her robot guards ever saw her true form. She wiped their memory banks every day to make sure no image of her ever lasted. To everyone else in her empire, she showed only fake images of herself. Perfect and strong. She never let anyone see that she was real, that she could be hurt. "My queen," said a soft voice from the walls. It was Vox, her computer helper. "The human ship Northern Star has been stopped, as you ordered. Their speaker waits to talk with you." Queen Zaravex made an angry sound. The scales on her neck lifted slightly, showing her mood. Humans were new to space travel. They had only reached the stars 50 years ago, but already they pushed into areas that belonged to her people. "These humans do not know their place," she said to the empty room. "They send this ship to spy on us. I am sure of it." "The human diplomatic team claims they come in peace," Vox said. "They wish to prevent war between our peoples." The queen laughed, a cold sound with no joy in it. "Of course they do. They know their weapons are no match for ours. They would be crushed." She walked to the large window that showed the stars outside. For a moment, she pressed her hand against the cool glass. 300 years was a long time to rule alone, a long time to hide. "Send their speaker to the talking room," she ordered. "I will speak to them through my usual image." In another part of the giant ship, a human woman stood waiting. Her name was Olivia Reeves. She wore the blue uniform of the United Earth Alliance, with 3 small stars on her collar that showed her rank of lieutenant. She had come to this alien ship alone, leaving her team behind on the Northern Star. Olivia was not a soldier, though she served in the space fleet. She was a person who studied alien languages. She could learn to speak with almost any species, and she understood how different aliens thought. This was why they sent her to meet the Thalian Queen. The room where Olivia waited was strange. The walls seemed to move slightly, like they were breathing. The floor felt warm under her boots. Everything was made from a metal that looked alive somehow. She had never seen anything like it in all her studies of alien worlds. "Stay calm," she whispered to herself. "Remember your training." Suddenly, the air in front of her began to shine. Light gathered into a shape, forming into the image of a tall, powerful-looking alien. This was Queen Zaravex, or at least the image the queen wanted her to see. The hologram showed a perfect Thalian with sharp features and eyes that glowed like small suns. "Human." The queen's voice filled the room. It was deep and seemed to come from all around. "You enter Thalian space uninvited. Explain yourself quickly." Olivia took a deep breath. She bowed low, showing respect. When she stood straight again, she looked right at the queen's glowing eyes. "Great Queen of the Thalian Empire," she said in a clear voice, "I bring greetings from Earth and all human worlds. We come seeking peace and understanding between our peoples." "Peace?" the queen asked. Her voice held doubt. "Your ships have been seen near our outer worlds. Your people build bases closer and closer to our space. These do not seem like peaceful acts." "There have been mistakes on both sides," Olivia said carefully. "We don't want war. That's why I'm here. To find a way for us to live as neighbors, without fighting." As they talked, something strange happened. The queen's image started to flicker. For just a second, it disappeared completely. In its place, Olivia saw something different. The real Queen Zaravex. The real queen wasn't like her perfect image at all. She was still tall and powerful, but her face was different. One side was smooth while the other had a long scar running from her head down to her neck. Her scales weren't all one color, but patched and uneven. She looked real. She looked like someone who had lived a long, hard life. The image fixed itself quickly. The perfect queen appeared again. But it was too late. Olivia had seen the truth. In her private room, the real Queen Zaravex stared at her screens in shock. The human had seen her. For the first time in 3 centuries, someone outside her most trusted robots had seen her real face. The Queen felt panic rising inside her. She should order the human killed immediately. It was the only safe thing to do. But then, she saw something unexpected on her screen. The human woman wasn't afraid. She wasn't disgusted. Instead, Olivia, Reeves smiled slightly. "Your Majesty," the human said, looking right into the camera as if she could see through to the real Queen behind it. "I believe we have much to discuss, and I would be honored to speak with you directly, not just your projection." Queen Zaravex felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time. Curiosity, interest. This human had seen her true self and wasn't afraid. How strange, how unexpected. "Why are you not afraid, human?" the Queen asked through her perfect image. "Because fear stops understanding," Olivia answered simply. "And I came here to understand you and your people." For a long moment, the Queen said nothing. Then she made a decision that would change everything. "Wait there," she told the human. "I am coming to meet you myself." The robot guards around her made sounds of alarm. This broke every rule she had made. But Queen Zaravex had made up her mind. For the first time in 300 years, she would let someone see her, really see her. As she walked toward the talking room, her heart beat, fast with both fear and something else, something like hope. The Queen's golden eyes studied Olivia for a long moment. Everyone in the command center held their breath, waiting. "You may stay," Queen Zaravex finally said. "For 3 days, we will talk. Nothing more is promised." Commander Walsh didn't look happy on the screen. "Lieutenant, I cannot order you to put yourself at risk this way." "You're not ordering me, Commander. I'm volunteering," Olivia said. "This is why I came, to build understanding." After some more argument, Commander Walsh reluctantly agreed. The Northern Star would remain nearby, just outside Thalian space, while Olivia stayed on the Nightshade. Every 12 hours, she would check in with her ship. When the call ended, the Queen turned to her crew. They were all still staring at her real face with surprise and confusion. "Return to your duties," she ordered. "What you see here does not leave this room." The crew quickly looked away, going back to their work. But Olivia could see them stealing glances at their Queen. For 300 years, they had only seen a perfect hologram of their ruler. Now they saw her as she truly was. "Come," the Queen said to Olivia. "We have much to discuss." They left the command center and walked through more corridors. Crew, members they passed, stopped and stared. Word was spreading quickly through the ship about the Queen's appearance. "They're shocked," Olivia said quietly. "Yes," the Queen replied. "Soon the whole empire will know. After centuries of hiding, all it took was one malfunctioning hologram and one stubborn human to undo everything. Are you angry about that?" Olivia asked. The Queen was quiet for a moment as they walked. "I don't know what I feel. It's been a very long time since I allowed myself to feel much of anything." They came to a large door that slid open at their approach. Inside was the most beautiful room Olivia had ever seen. One whole wall was transparent, showing the stars outside. The room was filled with plants from many worlds. A small stream ran through the middle, over colorful stones. It was like a piece of nature inside the metal ship. "This is my garden," the Queen said. "No one else comes here." "It's beautiful," Olivia said, turning slowly to take it all in. "Thank you for showing me." The Queen walked to a small bridge over the stream and stopped there. Her reflection wavered in the water below. 300 years ago, she said, I was young for a queen, only 50 years old. Thalians live long lives compared to humans. I was attacked during a public appearance. The assassin used acid. It burned through my scales and into the flesh beneath. Olivia stood quietly listening. In Thalian culture, physical perfection is valued above all else. The Queen continued. Leaders especially must be perfect. When I was scarred, many thought I should step down, that I was no longer fit to rule. So instead of stepping down, you hid, Olivia said. Yes, I created the hologram. I retreated into my ships and my palaces. I ruled from a distance, and over time the hologram became who I was supposed to be. The perfect queen everyone wanted. But not who you really are, Olivia said softly. The queen looked at her sharply. And who am I really, human? You think you know after a few hours? I think you're someone who has been alone for a very long time, Olivia said. And I think that's a heavy burden even for a queen. The queen turned away, looking out at the stars. Perhaps. They talked for hours in the garden. The queen asked about Earth and human culture. Olivia explained human ideas about beauty and imperfection. She told the queen about famous human leaders who had visible differences or disabilities. In our history, some of our greatest leaders were not physically perfect, she said. Franklin Roosevelt led America through a great war from a wheelchair. He couldn't walk, but people loved him for his mind and spirit. Your species is strange, the queen said, but interesting. As they talked, a Thalian officer came to the garden entrance. He kept his eyes down, avoiding looking directly at the queen. Your Majesty, he said, General Krill requests to speak with you urgently. The queen sighed. It seems my appearance has caused quite a stir. I must deal with this. You will be shown to guest quarters. We will continue our discussion tomorrow. Olivia bowed. Thank you for your hospitality, Your Majesty. The queen started to leave, then turned back. Lieutenant Reeves? Yes, Your Majesty. You are the first person to see my true face and not look away. I will not forget that. After the queen left, a silent Thalian guard led Olivia to a large room. It had a bed, a sitting area, and its own small food station. The guard bowed and left her alone. Olivia took out her small communication device and called Commander Walsh on a secure channel. How are things there? The commander asked immediately. Better than we could have hoped, Olivia replied. The queen is talking to me directly. No one has seen her real face in 3 centuries, Sam. This is huge. Be careful, Commander Walsh warned. The Thalian Empire isn't known for being friendly to outsiders. Don't let your guard down. I won't, Olivia promised. But I think the queen is lonely. 300 years of hiding behind a hologram, never letting anyone see the real you. That does something to a person. She's not a person, Olivia. She's an alien queen with the power to start a war that would kill millions. She's both, Olivia insisted. That's what you're not seeing. Behind the crown and the power, she's a person who's been hurt and alone. I can help her. They talked a bit longer, then Olivia ended the call. She was tired after the long, stressful day. She lay down on the bed and was asleep within minutes. She woke to the sound of an alarm blaring throughout the ship. Red lights flashed in her room. She jumped up, still wearing her uniform from the day before, and ran to the door. It was locked. Hello? She called out. What's happening? The door slid open. A Thalian guard stood there. Come quickly, he said. The queen has ordered all humans removed from the ship. What? Why? Olivia asked, as the guard pulled her into the corridor. 3 human ships have entered Thalian space, the guard explained as they hurried through the ship. They are heavily armed. Your people have broken their word. No, there must be some mistake, Olivia said. Let me talk to my commander. The ship shook violently. They were under attack again. There is no time, the guard said. You will be sent to your ship in an escape pod. They reached a small room with several round pods along one wall. The guard opened one and motioned for Olivia to get inside. Wait, she said. I need to speak with the queen, please. The queen is busy preparing for war, the guard said coldly. Your diplomatic mission has failed. Just then, the queen's voice came over the ship's communication system. All crews to battle stations. Human ships have entered our space with weapons charged, they were warned. Now they will learn the cost of challenging the Thalian Empire. Olivia pushed past the guard and ran. She knew the ship a little now. She hoped she could find her way back to the command center before it was too late. Behind her, the guard shouted and gave chase. Olivia ran faster than she ever had before. The future of both their peoples might depend on what happened in the next few minutes. As she ran, the ship shook again with another impact. Lights flickered in the corridors. Crew members rushed past her, too busy with their duties to stop the running human. She made a wrong turn and found herself in a part of the ship she didn't recognize. The guard's footsteps were getting closer behind her. She had to hide. She ducked into an open doorway and found herself in a small room with screens showing different parts of the ship. Some kind of security office. And sitting at the main console was Queen Zaravex herself. The Queen looked up in surprise. "Lieutenant Reeves, you should be on your way back to your ship." "Your Majesty," Olivia said, breathing hard from running. "Please don't start this war. Let me talk to the human ships. There must be a misunderstanding." The Queen stood, her scales dark with anger. "3 of your battle cruisers entered our space without permission. They ignored warnings to turn back. Now they fire on my ship. This is no misunderstanding." "Then let me help stop it," Olivia pleaded. "Please. Too many will die if this continues." The Queen stared at her for a long moment. Outside the room, they could hear the guards searching for Olivia. "Why do you care so much?" the Queen asked. "You've known me for 1 day. You've known my people even less. Why risk everything to stop this conflict?" "Because that's who I am," Olivia said simply. "I build bridges, not walls. Just like you've been building walls around yourself for 300 years. Isn't it time to try something different?" The ship rocked with another hit. Alarms blared louder. The Queen made her decision. The Queen touched a button on her wrist device. "General Krill, hold fire. I repeat, hold fire. Do not attack the human ships unless they fire again." "But Your Majesty," a voice began to argue. "Do as I command," the Queen said sharply. She turned to Olivia. "1 chance. That is all I will give you." The Queen led Olivia quickly through the ship's corridors. Crew members jumped out of their way. Some looked shocked to see the human still on board. Others were still trying to process seeing their Queen's real face. They reached the command center. The large screens showed the space battle outside. 3 human battle cruisers faced the Nightshade. Behind them, more Thalian warships were arriving. "Open a channel to the lead human ship," the Queen ordered. A face appeared on the main screen. It was Admiral Kelly, the head of the United Earth Alliance fleet. She looked surprised to see Olivia standing next to the alien Queen. "Lieutenant Reeves," she said. "Are you all right?" "I'm fine, Admiral," Olivia said quickly. "But we're on the edge of war. What are you doing here?" "Commander Walsh was supposed to wait outside Thalian space. We received a distress call from the Northern Star," Admiral Kelly explained. "Commander Walsh reported that you were being held against your will and that the Thalians were preparing to attack." Olivia looked confused. "I made my scheduled check-in just yesterday. I told her everything was fine." The Queen's scales darkened. This was no misunderstanding. "Your commander lied to bring your fleet here." "No," Olivia shook her head. "Commander Walsh wouldn't do that." "Admiral Kelly," the Queen said, stepping forward. "I am Queen Zaravex of the Thalian Empire. Your ships have entered our space without permission. You fired on my ship while a diplomatic meeting was in progress." "We were told Lieutenant Reeves was in danger," Admiral Kelly said stiffly. "As you can see, she is not," the Queen replied. "She has been my guest. We were making progress in peace talks before your ships arrived." Admiral Kelly looked uncertain. "Lieutenant, is this true?" "Yes, Admiral," Olivia said firmly. "The Queen and I have been talking directly. She's shown me parts of the ship no outsider has ever seen. We were building trust before this happened." "I see." The Admiral was quiet for a moment. "There seems to have been a serious misunderstanding. I will need to speak with Commander Walsh about this false report. In the meantime," the Queen said, "remove your ships from Thalian space immediately." "I will withdraw my ships to the border," Admiral Kelly agreed. "But I want Lieutenant Reeves to return with us." "No," Olivia said before the Queen could speak. "I need to stay and continue our talks. This incident only shows how important it is that we establish better communication between our peoples." Admiral Kelly frowned. "Lieutenant, that's not your decision to make." "With respect, Admiral, it is," Olivia said. "I was sent here as a diplomat. Let me do my job." The Queen watched this exchange with interest. She had never seen a human challenge their superior this way. It was not something that would happen in Thalian culture. After more discussion, Admiral Kelly reluctantly agreed. The human ships would withdraw. Olivia would stay for 3 more days to continue diplomatic talks. Then a formal meeting would be arranged between higher-level representatives of both species. When the call ended, the Queen turned to Olivia. "Your admiral gave in quite easily." "She knows I'm right," Olivia said, "and she trusts my judgment. Among my people, challenging a superior like that would be punishable by death," the Queen noted. "Different cultures," Olivia shrugged. "In human history, some of our best progress came from people who questioned authority." The Queen ordered her crew to stand down from battle readiness. The crisis had passed, at least for now. "I still don't understand why your Commander Walsh would lie about your situation," the Queen said as they left the command center. "I don't either," Olivia admitted. "It's not like her. I need to speak with her directly." The Queen took Olivia to a private communication room. "You may call your ship from here. I will give you privacy." "Thank you, Your Majesty," Olivia said. "But I'd like you to stay. If we're going to build trust, we need to start now." The Queen nodded and remained as Olivia called the Northern Star. Commander Walsh's face appeared on the screen. She looked tense. "Olivia, are you really okay?" "I'm fine, Sam," Olivia said. "But I need to know why you told Admiral Kelly I was in danger. You knew that wasn't true." Commander Walsh glanced nervously at the Queen standing behind Olivia. "I can't talk freely right now." "Yes, you can," Olivia insisted. "The Queen is here. Because I asked her to stay. I want everything in the open, no more secrets. Now tell me what's going on." Commander Walsh sighed. "We received orders, Olivia, from Earth. Your mission was never meant to succeed." "What are you talking about?" Olivia felt cold suddenly. "Some people in the government don't want peace with the Thalians," Commander Walsh explained reluctantly. "They want their technology. They think the only way to get it is through war, while the Thalian Empire is still adjusting to human presence in this sector of space. In a few years, they think we'll be too far behind to have any chance." Olivia couldn't believe what she was hearing. "So my diplomatic mission was just a cover, a way to get close enough to start a conflict?" "I'm sorry," Commander Walsh said. "I didn't know until after you left. When I got the orders to report you in danger, I tried to delay, but Admiral Kelly was already on her way." Behind Olivia, the Queen's scales had turned almost black with anger. "So humans speak of peace while planning war. This is why I have hidden myself away for centuries. This is why I trust no one." "Not all humans." Olivia turned to her quickly. "I didn't know about this. I came here in good faith. Yet your leaders sent you as a pawn," the Queen said coldly. "Olivia," Commander Walsh said urgently, "you need to come back to the ship now. It's not safe for you there anymore. If the Queen knows our real plans, I'm not going anywhere." Olivia cut her off. "And you need to tell Admiral Kelly the truth. All of it." "I can't do that," Commander Walsh said. "Those orders came from the highest levels of government." "Then I will," Olivia said firmly. "I won't be part of starting a war based on lies." "They'll court-martial you," Commander Walsh warned. "Or worse." "I'll take that chance," Olivia said. "End call." The screen went black. Olivia turned slowly to face the Queen. "I swear to you I knew nothing about this," she said. "My mission was genuine. I came to build peace between our peoples." The Queen studied her face for a long moment. "I believe you. But it changes nothing. Your leaders want war. Not all of them," Olivia argued. "And not most of our people. If this plan became public, there would be outrage across Earth and all human colonies. Then perhaps it should become public," the Queen said thoughtfully. "What do you mean? If your people knew the truth, would it stop this war before it starts?" Olivia nodded slowly. "It might. But I have no way to tell everyone. Commander Walsh is right. If I speak out, I'll be arrested before I can reach any major news outlet." The Queen's scales shifted to a lighter color. "What if you had help? What if I gave you a way to speak to all human worlds at once? You can do that? Olivia asked, surprised. Thalian technology is far advanced beyond human capabilities, the Queen said. Our communication systems can reach any world in this sector of space, including all human colonies. Olivia saw the possibility immediately. A joint broadcast. You and me, speaking directly to both our peoples. No governments in between, no secrets. Yes, the Queen agreed. The truth, for everyone to hear. It's risky, Olivia warned. For both of us. Your people might not be happy to see their Queen's real face. My people might see me as a traitor. All great change involves risk, the Queen said. I have hidden in the shadows for 3 centuries. Perhaps it is time to step into the light. Together they began to plan the broadcast. The Queen ordered her best communication experts to prepare the system. They would send their message simultaneously to all worlds in both empires. As they worked, Olivia noticed something changing in the Queen. She stood taller. She spoke more, confidently. She no longer seemed concerned about people seeing her scarred face. Your Majesty, Olivia said during a quiet moment. May I ask you something personal? You may ask, the Queen said. I may not answer. After hiding for so long, aren't you afraid to show yourself to everyone? To your entire empire and mine? The Queen was silent for a moment. Then she looked directly at Olivia. Yes, I am afraid. But you showed me something important, Lieutenant Reeves. What's that? That sometimes one must be seen to be heard. The ship's communication officer approached them. Your Majesty, we are ready. The system is prepared for broadcast to all registered worlds in both empires. The Queen nodded. Begin in 5 minutes. She turned to Olivia. Are you ready to change the course of history, Lieutenant? Olivia took a deep breath. As ready as I'll ever be. They walked together to the broadcast room. 2 chairs were placed side by side in front of a large camera. Screens showed the technical readouts as the system prepared to send their message across the stars. In 30 seconds you will be speaking to trillions of beings, the Queen said. What will you tell them? The truth, Olivia said simply. That's all we need. The countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Queen Zaravek spoke clearly to the camera. For 300 years I have ruled from behind a perfect image, a lie. I was ashamed of my scars. I believed my people needed a flawless ruler. Today I stand before you as I truly am. Olivia watched as the Queen spoke with dignity and power. Gone was the coldness and distance. In their place was something real and strong. Beside me is Lieutenant Olivia Reeves of Earth, the Queen continued. She came to my ship as a diplomat seeking peace. But we have discovered that some leaders in the human government sent her as a pawn, hoping to start a war they think they can win now before our technological gap grows too wide. Olivia leaned forward to speak. People of Earth and all human colonies. I was sent on a peace mission, but I've learned this was a cover. Certain officials want war with the Thalians to gain their technology. They created a false crisis claiming I was in danger when I wasn't. They sent our fleet into Thalian space to provoke a response. This deception nearly worked, the Queen added. Our ships were ready to fire on each other. Millions could have died today, but we chose another path. Chose to speak directly to you, Olivia said. To all people of both empires. Because this war would not serve the people. It would only serve those in power who want more power. They took turns explaining what had happened over the past 2 days. The Queen described her centuries of isolation. Olivia shared what she had learned about the secret plans for war. I don't know what will happen to me after this broadcast, Olivia admitted. I may be arrested for treason, but I couldn't stay silent while our governments led us into a war based on lies. And I could no longer hide behind a false image, the Queen said. Not after meeting someone who saw my true self and still offered friendship. As they spoke, messages began flooding in from both empires. The broadcast system showed the numbers. Billions were watching. Comments and reactions poured in faster than anyone could read them. We propose a new beginning, the Queen said. A true peace between our peoples. Not negotiated in secret rooms by leaders with hidden agendas, but built openly, with the full knowledge and participation of our citizens. We are different species with different cultures, Olivia added. But we share this region of space. We can choose to share it in peace or destroy each other in war. I believe most people, human and Thalian, would choose peace. The Queen looked directly into the camera, her golden eyes intense. I call on the citizens of the Thalian Empire to demand peaceful relations with humans, and I pledge, from this day forward, to rule as my true self. No more hiding, no more secrets. And I call on the people of Earth and all human colonies, Olivia said, to reject the path to war. Contact your representatives, demand transparency, ask why some wanted war when peace was possible. They ended the broadcast with a joint statement. Today, one human and one Thalian chose truth over deception. We ask you to do the same. When the camera light turned off, Olivia let out a long breath. Well, we did it. No turning back now. No, the Queen agreed. There is only forward from here. Within minutes, the reactions began. The Queen's communication officers reported massive public responses across both empires. Most were supportive, though some Thalians expressed shock at seeing their Queen's true appearance. An urgent call came through from Earth. It was Admiral Kelly. Her face was tight with anger. Lieutenant Reeves, by authority of the United Earth Alliance, I am ordering you to return to Earth immediately to face charges of treason and sharing classified information. I expected as much, Admiral, Olivia said calmly. But I stand by what I did. You have no idea what you've done, Admiral Kelly snapped. You've undermined years of strategic planning. You've exposed sensitive operations, all because you couldn't follow orders. I followed my conscience, Olivia replied. And from what we're seeing, most citizens support our call for peace. The public doesn't decide military strategy, Admiral Kelly said coldly. The Queen stepped forward. In a true democracy, Admiral, doesn't the public decide everything ultimately? Isn't that what humans claim to believe in? Admiral Kelly's face hardened. This doesn't concern you, Your Majesty. It concerns both our peoples, the Queen said, and Lieutenant Reeves is currently under my protection as a diplomatic guest of the Thalian Empire. If you wish to arrest her, you will need to send your ships into our space again. Are you prepared for what might follow? The Admiral hesitated. This isn't over, she finally said, and ended the call. Thank you, Olivia said to the Queen, but you can't protect me forever. Eventually, I'll have to go home and face the consequences. Perhaps, the Queen said, but not today. More calls came in over the next few hours. Leaders from both empires were scrambling to respond to the broadcast. Some called for immediate peace talks. Others demanded punishment for those involved. The Queen received a formal request from her own Imperial Council to explain her actions. She agreed to meet with them the next day. They're not happy with me, she told Olivia afterward. Many believe I've shown weakness by revealing my true appearance. Some think I've been manipulated by a clever human diplomat. Have you? Olivia asked with a small smile. Perhaps, the Queen admitted, but not in the way they fear. That night, they sat in the Queen's garden watching the stars. The Queen seemed more relaxed than before despite the chaos they had caused. I've lived for over 300 years, she said quietly. Most of that time I've spent hiding, afraid to be seen, afraid to be judged. Now that fear is gone. What changed? Olivia asked. You saw me, the Queen said simply. You really saw me and you didn't look away. It made me wonder what else I might have been wrong about all these years. What will you do now? Olivia asked. Your council might try to remove you from power. Let them try, the Queen said, and for the first time, Olivia heard her laugh. It was a surprisingly warm sound. I've ruled for 3 centuries. I know more about power than all of them combined. And now I have something they don't. What's that? The support of the people. The Queen gestured to a screen showing public reactions to their broadcast. My subjects are calling this the Day of Truth. Many are sharing their own stories of hiding their differences. Some are even calling me Zarevex the Revealed. It has a nice ring to it. Olivia smiled. And what about you? The Queen asked. You may have ended your career today. Possibly your freedom. Was it worth it? Yes, Olivia said without hesitation. We stopped a war, saved countless lives. Some things are worth any price. The next morning brought surprising news. Public pressure on Earth had forced the United Earth Alliance to open an investigation into the secret war plans. Several high-ranking officials had already resigned, and the arrest order for Olivia had been suspended pending review. It seems your people value truth more than your leaders expected, the Queen observed. Most people don't want war, Olivia said. They just want to live their lives in peace. It's usually leaders who push for conflicts. A week later, Olivia stood in the same docking bay where she had first arrived on the Nightshade. The Northern Star waited to take her back to Earth. She would still face an inquiry, but public opinion had shifted strongly in her favor. Many now saw her as a hero who had prevented an unnecessary war. Queen Zarevex came to say goodbye. She was dressed in formal robes, but wore no holographic disguise. Her scarred face was visible to all. The official peace talks begin next month, the Queen said. Both sides have agreed to full transparency. All sessions will be broadcast publicly. I'm glad, Olivia said, though I'm not sure if they'll let me participate after everything that's happened. They will, the Queen said confidently. I've made it a condition of the talks. The Thalian Empire will only negotiate with the human who saw truth before war. Olivia smiled. I'd like that. But what about you? Has the Council accepted your new openness? They had little choice, the Queen replied. Public support for me is at its highest point in centuries. It seems my people were ready for a ruler who shows her real face. They stood in silence for a moment. In just a short time, they had formed a connection neither had expected. Will you come back? The Queen finally asked. After your inquiry is over, not just for the peace talks, but as my guest. I'd like that very much, Olivia said. There's still so much I want to learn about your culture, and I never did see the rest of your garden. I'll show you every planet in my empire if you wish, the Queen said. I think I'm ready to travel again, to be seen. As Olivia prepared to board her ship, the Queen did something unexpected. She removed a small pin from her robe, a royal symbol of the Thalian Empire, and placed it in Olivia's hand. So you remember your promise to return? She said. Olivia looked down at the pin, then back at the Queen. I won't forget. 1 month later, Olivia stood before the Earth Council. Her inquiry had ended with full exoneration. More than that, she had been promoted and officially named as Earth's lead diplomat for the Thalian peace talks. You took an enormous risk, Lieutenant. Excuse me, Ambassador Reeves, the Council head said. But you were right. The path to war was wrong. We owe you our gratitude. Thank you, Olivia said. But I didn't do it alone. She touched the Thalian pin she now wore openly on her uniform. In 2 days, she would board a ship back to the Nightshade. Back to the Queen, who had finally stepped out of the